lessons that schools never taught you. There's one thing that schools will always teach you: how to find X, how to find Y, and how to find Z. But what it fails to teach you and me is how to find financial freedom. Of course, there are things that schools taught you. They taught you how to study hard, how to get good grades, how to get a job. But they never told you that the system was designed to keep you working for the rest of your life. And here's the truth: the rich and the ultra rich, the wealthy, they don't play by the same rules we were taught in school. They learned the real money lessons, the ones that nobody talks about, the ones that separate those who work for money and those who make money work for them. Those are two different people, for information. So, in this video turned lesson, I'll share 10 money secrets, lessons that schools never taught you. And these are the same timeless lessons that the rich quietly live by, the lesson that the rich teach their children, and lesson that the systems never want you to discover. Because once you understand these lessons, this secret code, you'll never see money and finances the same way again. Lesson one: money is leverage and not the goal. The poor chase money. The rich use money to move the weight that they can't move alone. And when we talk about leverage, there are four types of leverage. There's capital leverage, there are people leverage, systems leverage, and content leverage. This is a good example. When Mark Zuckerberg wanted to strengthen Meta's AI division, you know what he did? He reportedly paid millions of money or billions of money to bring in Scale AI's founder and his entire team, not just for skill, but for leverage. What did he buy? He bought time, he bought expertise, and he bought scale, all in one single move. So, here is the lesson: stop asking, how can I earn more money? And start asking, what can I leverage? That is lesson number one. Lesson number two: money is an employee. Make it to work overtime. To the rich people, money is an employee that has got a full time job description. It has got assignment, it has got work to do, and it has got deliverables. The rich understand one thing, that idle money is unemployed capital. So they end up assigning every shilling and every dollar on a mission. Some money will go to multiply, some money will go to protect, and some money will go to learn. What goes to multiply is known as investment. What goes to protect is known as insurance and reserves. And what goes to learn is known as education and mentorship. Warren Buffett says that his money works 24 hours a day. Even while he sleeps, his money is working. That is how capital compounds faster than time itself. Lesson: don't let your money rest. Don't let your money sleep, but instead give it a job, give it a job description, and give it a deadline. Lesson three: debt is a weapon when used strategically. The average person has been taught to fear debt because they've been taught to know that debt is bad. But the rich know a secret, they understand a secret, and they use debt as a tool to do what? To accelerate growth. The rich borrow against appreciating assets. They don't borrow for depreciating lifestyle. An example: when the ultra rich want to build skyscrapers, when they want to build big buildings, you know what they do? They use bank loans. An example, when Donald Trump was building the Trump Towers, he used bank loans to finance the construction. Then later on, they let the tenants, those who occupy the building, pay back the debt. Developers in Kenya today, they use off-plan buyers. They use deposits to finance multi-million shilling projects. That's a smart leverage, using a debt as a tool. The lesson: don't run from debt. Outthink it and use it to build, not to consume. Lesson number 4. This is one of the most important lessons that you learn, that the financial game is rigged, but you can learn the rules. The financial system is not fair, but it's predictable. The poor pay up to half their income in taxes through pay and VAT, while the rich structure their income through assets that legally shield them from paying tax, that legally shield them from paying pay and VAT, with the amount of money that the poor pay. An example: the wealthy will buy assets, like they'll buy real estate, that appreciate in value while at the same time generating income. They will then use the and depreciating and tax deductions to offset the taxable income. What's the result? They might earn millions and legally pay very little or nothing when it comes to taxation. The lesson: don't fight the system. You can't win, but learn its rules and play smarter games. Lesson 5: wealth is transferred and but not created from zero. Money doesn't disappear, money moves. It's transferred from those who are not informed to those who are informed, from the impatient to the patient. That is why when someone else is selling stocks, someone is buying stocks. When the economy is crashing, someone is buying real estate. During the 2020 stock market dip, investors panicked and sold off their assets at low cost, at low price, at losses. While seasoned investors, what were they doing? They were quietly accumulating undervalued stocks. Months later, years later, the wealth simply changed pockets from those who were not informed to those who were informed. So the lesson: be informed, be patient, because inside being patient, that is where wealth settles. Lesson number 6: attention is the new currency. In the digital age today, attention is equals to money. The rich understand that trust and visibility are the new forms of capital. An example: Elon Musk acquired Twitter. He did that for a reason. Zuckerberg acquired Meta. He did that for a reason. Jeff Bezos, just apart from having Amazon, he has acquired some other platform that enable him to dictate the views, the comments, and others. Because visibility is the new form of capital. Look at local entrepreneurs. They are building strong brands. Look at people like Vusi, they are building brand. They are using attention because that attention can be turned into deals. The lesson: money follows influence. Build visibility and value will chase you down the road later on. Lesson number 7: time is much, much, much more valuable than money. The middle class and the poor trade time for money. trade time for cash. Sorry. But the rich use money to buy back time because we live in bad times. The rich buy back time through people, through systems, and through automation. For example, again, another example, the same example on Mark Zuckerberg. When Zuckerberg brought in the team from school AI, is it school AI? He hired, he just didn't hire a team. He Scale AI. I was looking for that name. When Zuckerberg hired Scale AI, he just didn't hire visionaries. He brought in a whole team that could change the whole structure of his Meta AI department. The lesson: use money to buy time, then use time to buy freedom. Lesson 8: don't earn you don't earn what you are worth. You earn what you negotiate. And the world will not pay for effort. The world will pay for perceived value. There's something known as value. There are two consultants. I want to use an example. There are two consultants who have got identical qualifications. One earns 10,000 shillings per hour. Another one earns 100,000 shillings per hour. The difference is not skill because the baseline is the same. They have the same skill. But the difference is positioning and confidence. So, what is the lesson? Learn to sell outcomes, not hours. Position determines pay. Lesson 9: the rich think in systems, not in salaries. The poor and the middle class people think in terms of income, but the rich think in ecosystem. They think long term. They think interconnected ventures that feed each other. Example: Richard Branson built the Virgin Airlines. He built Virgin credit cards. He built Virgin Mobile. One brand, and that one brand built multiple income streams. In Kenya, for example, an entrepreneur can own a school, then they end up owning a transport company, they end up owning catering farm, and in the long run, they are feeding the whole system, not just one particular line. So don't chase income streams, but build systems that will be able to sustain wealth over a long period of time. Lesson number 10: wealth begins in identity, not in income. Before money fills your account, before money fills your pocket, it must first fill your identity, who you are. This is what I imply. If you believe you are poor, you will subconsciously sabotage success. Oprah Winfrey once said, I was never poor, I was just broke. It's all about mindset. She saw wealth in herself long before wealth was able to trace her down the line. The lesson: your financial ceiling is determined by your internal identity. As we close this class, because we're talking about lessons, schools taught us how to survive, but they never taught us how to build freedom. And remember this, that the greatest wealth isn't what you have, but it's who you become in the process of managing that wealth. We've talked about becoming. That is it. That is it in this video. That's what I wanted us to share. I hope you found value, and tell me what lesson we could add onto these 10 lessons. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.